Hey, this is your boy Ruddle Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy, aka DFS Dudes, and we're here to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Friday, November 30th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. And if you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups, and we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So check out the site, man, dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, how you doing out there, Jeremy?
I'm good, man. Terrible night. It was a terrible slate. Told everybody not to jump on this slate. Go light because of a terrible slate, and it's exactly what it was.
You're talking about
hey, Dwayne, I'm with you, man. How about them Cowboys?
Hey, how about them Cowboys, bro? Took down them Saints. When everybody's riding us off, we come back. And one more thing I want to mention, bro, I quickly wanted to mention this is, you're telling everybody that to go light tonight, but at the same time, hey, the money team cashed out tonight, bro. FanDuel and DraftKings cash all entries, GPPs, and cash entries. So another good night for the money team. I'm going to post the results up shortly on social media, so if you want to check them out. Hey, man, we've been on absolute fire. Easily 70% win percentage to start the NBA season. Already took down a couple of tournaments. And things have been going well. Optimizer's been on fire. So definitely, man, come check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And I'm ready to jump into it. Jeremy, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Real quick, before we get into it, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second for me. Click the like button down below. It helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate that from you guys. And, yeah, man, the first game that we're going to jump into, it's going to be Cleveland going into Boston to face the Celtics. This game has a 208 implied total. Boston's favored by 12.5 in this one.
Yeah, cast the characters here, really. I mean, David Nwaba out, so Rodney Hood is in play at 5,100. Jordan Clarkson in play 5,300. But the guys you got to look to target, first and foremost, you have to go back to Larry Nance, who lays a dud in an absolute chalk spot, 40% owned in tournaments the other night, and lays 22 on everybody. So I go right back to the well here. With Larry Nance, Al Horford already been ruled out. You got the good side of that with the good value play. Tristan Thompson has not played extremely well against Boston in the past. He's been level as of late. But really for me, the number one guy that I'm going to target in this spot is Colin Sexton, and then I'll go right back to Larry Nance Jr. You can have some exposure to Tristan Thompson tomorrow because he does have some upside at 6,300 without Al Horford, but he just hasn't played real well against Boston in the past.
Yeah, so I mean, on the Boston side of things, I'm not really going to target them tomorrow because I honestly think this game is going to be a blowout. But Cleveland has been playing better lately. Obviously, you can start with Kyrie Irving. He's going to be matched up against the rookie Sexton. Definitely think this is a spot where Kyrie can have a good game right here. Kyrie's been playing well. Earlier in the season, he was struggling. I mean, he'll always have those occasional off games, but for the most part, the guy's been very consistent. Price tag's very fair. We need about 44 for him to hit value. I definitely think this is a spot where he can do that. They're going to need some scoring for sure. Cleveland, like I said, they have been keeping it close. So, this game possibly could kind of turn into a spot we could target. I'm just, usually Vegas isn't wrong. But with the 12 over 12 favored by 12, that kind of is pushing me off a little bit. Like Kyrie to start off. With Jaylen Brown out, definitely I think DeMarcus Smart is a main beneficiary. He's going to get a ton of minutes. And he's a guy, he's shown us in the past that he has 40 fantasy point upside, 4.5, very fair price tag. And, and then you can look at, without no Al Horford, you can look at Baines, absolute minimum price. What do you think about Baines tomorrow? You think he's a lock tomorrow if he's going to start?
He had 32 fantasy points like a window when Al Horford's the game against Atlanta.
Yeah, remember, I got you.
I'm loading them in.
Absolute locked in.
It's too good of a spot. I mean, it's just too the guy's very active for one, even in regular rotational minutes that he gets. And you can see he's averaging about 15.4 minutes over his last 5 games. Obviously, that's a little inflated with the fact that one of those was a start for Al Horford, but The guy, he's a high energy dude. So I mean, 3,500 for a guy starting against Cleveland to me seems like that's your drop spot. Lock him in tomorrow night.
Yeah, so hey, you guys heard it from us here at DFSCheatSheet.com. Minimum price, Aaron Baines. If he gets the start tomorrow and he's in the starting lineup for Al Horford, you just lock him in all 150 lineups on the optimizer and move on. He's gonna let you get absolutely everything else you pretty much want. Will be a great punt play. 10x upside. Definitely like the play. I'm with you right there, Jeremy. And then, you can also look, Gordon Hayward. He's still a little too cheap, 6,400. Going against Cleveland, 6,400, very fair price tag. We've always seen Gordon Hayward in the past, 7,500, 7,800, etc. I understand he's not that same player that he once was, before the injury. He's still working his way back. But this guy has upside on this price tag. He can get us 40 fantasy points, and they've shown that they will play him 30 minutes. So I just think it's kind of a buy low opportunity on Hayward. They're going to need some extra minutes with Brown out. So, yeah, for me, it's Kyrie, Marcus Smart. You can look at Gordon Hayward, a little bit of Tatum, and then Baines, absolute lock if he gets to start. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Next game we got is going to be Chicago going into Detroit. This game has a 216.5 implied total. Detroit's favored by 9.5 in this one.
Hey, I still want to play Articiano or whatever the hell his name is. I can't ever say this dude's name. I'm going to have to look it up. But it's sad, too. I'm Italian. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. I'm going to keep playing this guy, dude. 5,500. I had him locked in my core the other night until Tim Frazier, it came out that he was going to start. But I like this dude at 5,500. I like him a lot at 5,500 still. I think he's a very good play. I also like Zach LaVine in this spot. Zach LaVine's starting to get a little bit more active on the rebounds, and he's kind of cleaning the glass a little bit. You can see previous 5 games, his minutes are at 36, 26.6 points, and 6 rebounds and 6 assists for 8,700. There's not too many guys on the slate that are averaging that over their last 5 at that price point. So I like him a lot. And then the other guy that I do like a lot too is Justin Holiday. Don't mind his price. I like him in this spot. So he's really their scorer. He's listed as a shooting guard on FanDuel, but he is playing small forward for them. That's just where he's running at. So I like this. This Bulls team to me is kind of like Sacramento. I mean, they're a young bunch of players outside of Jabari Parker, and Jabari Parker's still, he's still a kid, really. He's like, 25, 26 years old at max. So this is a young group of guys, and they're playing good competitive basketball. They're not going to win anything. They're not going to win a lot of games, but they're going to be in a lot of games. And I think because of that, you can target them. So, yeah, LaVine, Holiday, and definitely Arcidiano, whatever his name is. Arcticot, whatever.
Yeah, so, on the Detroit side of things, start with Reggie Jackson, 6,400. He's not a guy I really like to play. He's strictly GPP, but the guy's been playing very well the past 3, really scoring the ball. 22, 19, 21 actual scoring points. And the thing about him is I'm surprised he doesn't get more assists. He has 2 really good big guys to drop dimes to for easy baskets. But the guy definitely has some assist upside. And he plays a little bit of defense, gets a bunch of steals. He's got you at least 1 steal in 5 straight games. In 3 of the 5, he got at least 2 steals. So you like those extra points. Definitely think Reggie Jackson's starting to get engaged, and he's in play. And then you just go straight to Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. Griffin, last game he almost laid a dud against New York, and then he kind of got a bunch of points in garbage time. Ended up coming back and kind of saving the day. But, the price tag actually dropped. He was close to 10,000. So, right here you need 45 for value. Definitely think he's in play. Going against Chicago. We always say we like big guys against Chicago, so you can look at Drummond and Griffin. I like Drummond as well. Definitely think this is the game where he can get 20 rebounds, 20 points. Solid spot for him. So for me, it's just Reggie Jackson, Griffin, and Drummond.
Hey, Drummond's playing at a high level right now, man. He's playing at a high level right now.
Right. So moving on Next game we're going to go to is going to be Washington going into Philadelphia to face the 76ers. This game has a 235 implied total, and Philadelphia is favored by 7.5 in this one.
I don't. I honestly don't even want to get into it. I really don't. I mean, I don't even want to get into Washington. You want to play them because they're in good spots, but they're just. I mean, it's not there. It's just not there. It's just not there. I mean, I'm not going to pay $6,600 for Markieff Morris without Dwight Howard. His price has caught up to his performance, and I think he's a little bit overpriced, to be honest with you. Especially in this spot where you got a Joel Embiid who's going to just mop up the majority of the rebounds. Ben Simmons averages 7 rebounds a game. Right now, you can see the Embiid's averaging 14.8 rebounds per game over his last 5. I just don't want no part of it. I really don't want any part of it at all. That's a move on for me. I will probably completely fade Washington.
Yeah, I mean, and on Philadelphia side of things, I mean, you just look at the same guys that we always talk about. Obviously, Ben Simmons, he's going to be going against John Wall. With even though Jimmy Butler's here, I think Jimmy Butler's a guy that has really taken more of a back seat. Ben Simmons and Embiid are still getting theirs. Ben Simmons has triple-double upside any night. Definitely think he'll play very well against John Wall, rise up to the challenge. And he's way bigger than John Wall. If that's who he's going to be matched up against. Definitely think he could dominate that matchup. And then, you can look at Jimmy Butler. The price tag is just a little too high for me. But he's already shown, in the Philadelphia uniform, he dropped a 58 fantasy point game. So we know he has the upside. And the thing about it with him is he's just not really getting the secondary stats that we're used to him getting. You got Ben Simmons dropping all the dimes, getting the assist. You got Joel Embiid getting pretty much all the rebounds, doing all that dirty work. So he's just not getting those extra assists, but he does play defense. That's a thing. We definitely got to give Jimmy Butler. I think that he's a GPP play, but he has the upside. And then you can look at JJ Redick. He's their shooter. He gets 15 shots a game minimum. And 10 of them are 3-pointers. He gives you a solid floor. He's been in the 20s for 6 straight games. At this price tag, we need 27 for value. Definitely think he can get there in an up-tempo game against Washington. And we're not. Chandler's price is going up. I'm not messing with, nothing with their power forward spot. And then you just look at the guy Embiid. I like Embiid. 11,000. We just talked about it. Dwight Howard's out. What big guy do they really have that can stop Embiid? The answer is none. I think that of all the Philadelphia guys, I think Embiid is in the absolute best spot. They have nobody that could really match up against this guy. So I like Embiid a lot, and that's really where I'm at, man. I'm just going to stick to those 4 guys. Cool.
Moving on.
Cool. Next game we got is Utah going into Charlotte to face the Hornets. 215.5 implied total, and Vegas is favoring Charlotte by 2. But how is Vegas going to favor Charlotte by 2 when Utah just made that monster move and got Kyle Korver, bro?
This dude, you know what? He's kind of like he's not the same as Enes Kanter, but he keeps getting traded around to teams where he just doesn't get no run at all. Like they bring him in to do a job and give him an opportunity to do that job. So I don't expect much out of Korver and Utah either. So Donovan Mitchell's where I'm at, comes back 40.5 fantasy points. I think his price is very, very fair in this one. I think his price is fair. He's an upside play. There's not a lot of defense. The Charlotte's been in some barn burners, man, this season. They've been in some very high-scoring games, and they score a lot of points. Utah's been smacked a few times in their previous games. They were getting by Brooklyn and ended up coming back and getting that, and Donovan Mitchell in the fourth quarter was a big reason why. Outside of that, Joe Ingles is a tournament play. He'll continue to be a tournament play at this price at $5,800. Because he can get you assists and he can get hot. Jay Crowder with the run he's getting, I like Jay Crowder in this spot as well. At 4,400, he's a tournament-only play. And outside of that, that's really where I'm at. Don't go back to the well with Gobert if you pay attention. It was an obvious spot to load up Gobert in tournaments against Brooklyn. Like you say, every time Brooklyn's on the slate, we attack them with centers. I'm sure we'll talk about that when we get to the next game as well. But Donovan Mitchell is the really, for me, the number one play in this game. If Utah is going to be in this game, it'll be because of Donovan Mitchell. You can just look at his shot volume, his usage is through the roof. So really Donovan Mitchell for me, and that's it.
Yeah, no, Charlotte side of things, 3 guys, short and simple. We always talk about it. We love Kemba Walker at home. The guy's been playing very, very well in the season. Definitely starting to come into his own as a superstar. I think the guy's also going to be traded, and I think he's going to go to a team in the playoff hunt. I really like Kemba Walker. I understand he's going against Utah, and Utah, the team we never wanted to attack, but they're not the same defensive team this year. We talked about that, a couple of days ago. And then, and then Kemba Walker got a matchup against Ricky Rubio. I'm not scared of no Ricky Rubio defense. So I love Kemba in this spot. Definitely think he can go off at home. Jeremy Lamb, a guy's been playing very well, very, very consistent for the most part. If you look at what he's doing, he's got you, 35, 37, 24, 34, 31, 31, 39, 30. The guy's consistent. You need 31 for value. He has 40 fantasy point upside. Going against Donovan Mitchell, matchup against him. Solid spot for Lamb. And then you look at Nicholas Batum. He's just too cheap. 5.4 for a guy who plays 30 minutes, who has triple-double upside. I like him in this spot. 9.4 against Joe Ingles. 5.4 against Joe Ingles. For value, we need about 27. He's averaging 26 on the season, and he has 40 fantasy point upside. So those are the 3 guys for me, and I'm ready to move on to the next game. Next game,
why do you think Kemba Walker's going to be traded?
Bro, because, they're going to have to clean house sometime. They're not with the core they have right now, they're not going to win with the core. Kemba Walker's the only really good guy that they have. So I think they're going to get rid of him and go into a rebuilding phase, in my opinion. Every team has to do it sooner or later, bro. Like their core,
his contract's up too.
Yeah, their core they have is not going to do nothing. They were talking about him being traded last year, and he didn't end up getting traded. And then this year he's having the best year of his career. So it's like, shit, if I was a team who, was right there, have a chance to contend, and you get a guy like Kemba Walker who actually pass the ball, like
I would give Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball for Kemba Walker.
I would too.
Right now.
Let's do it right now. Hey, let's hit up Magic Johnson and tell him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight up. But hey, next game we're gonna go with is gonna be Memphis going into Brooklyn to face the Nets. This game waiting on some injury news, so we don't have an over and under or a Vegas line yet. So go ahead and get us started. You actually got the good side of things.
Yeah, man. Load up Marc Gasol 9,800 and this is a bear we attack. We use centers, attack Brooklyn with centers. Marc Gasol is playing at a high level right now. The dude is playing probably some of the best basketball he's ever played in his career. 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists a game in 37 minutes is what he's done in his previous 5. You can see these monster games he's had in this stretch. The 139 was against San Antonio. But look, these 44 against Toronto. We saw it tonight if you watch the game. Toronto's a good rebounding basketball team. Dallas, he puts up 50. Minnesota against Karl Anthony Towns, he puts 54.1 up. So him and Mike Conley are playing at such a high level right now that it's crazy to talk about Memphis, and it's crazy to target these guys every night. Conley playing good basketball at 8,900 is what his price is. So I like both these guys. I think Jaren Jackson. I heard a perfect analogy about Jaren Jackson today, and somebody said the guy, like for season long, is a top 50 player. He's really a top 30 player. Numbers say he's a top 30 player, but he's so up and down that some nights he's going to be a top 25 player and some nights he's going to be a top 80 player. You just got to hope you have him on the right night. Against Brooklyn, a weak rebound team, that's definitely a spot you could look at him in tournaments. Kyle Anderson, say what you want about Kyle Anderson at 5,800, but he's a great tournament play night in and night out, especially on this team and the style of basketball they're playing. The guy gets steals. He gets rebounds. He does get assists. He can even block shots. And if he's going to score 9 regular real points to go along with the other ancillary statistics he fills up the stat sheet with, at 5,800, he's a really solid small forward too. And that's really it for me on the Memphis side. I like Marcus Gasol a whole lot against nobody really on the Brooklyn side.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not even gonna waste my time, your time, or anybody watching this video's time. I'm not gonna touch Brooklyn tomorrow at all. The only guys, I mean, I would even really consider a GPP. You can look at a D'Angelo Russell finally starting to get minutes, and he's been playing very well. I think that he definitely is in play. Strictly GPP, but if he's going to play, 34, 35 minutes in a game, we know this guy has triple-double upside. And then you look at Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie, since LeVert has been out, he's the guy that's getting the extra guard minutes. They don't want to start this dude, but hey, man, he's a guy that, he does get a little minutes and he plays in crunch time. He has some upside. We know that, but I'm just really Brooklyn's pretty much a stay away from me. Those are the only two guys I would even consider in one lineup possibly. Cool.
I mean, Russell is the guy. I mean,
right.
The guy's taken 53 shots in the last 2 games, which is nuts.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's Russell and then Dinwiddie, and that's it, bro.
But I mean, I wouldn't even to me, I wouldn't consider Dinwiddie right now, just because the dude's taking 53 shots. Like, that's not I mean, you may take 60 shots in a game, right? So he's taking 53 shots as a team. You may take between depending on the pace, and 80 shots as a team, and this guy's getting 53 in 2 games. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. The usage is just ridiculous. So next game we're going to go to is going to be the Houston Rockets going into San Antonio to face the Spurs. Obviously waiting on some Chris Paul news, so we don't have an over-under or Vegas line yet. But go ahead and get us started, man. You got the good side once again.
James Harden's playing out of his mind. He's automatic at 11-7 if Chris Paul is out. This is a 8 p.m. Eastern lock, 5 p.m. for you and I. So we may not know anything. If we do get news on this, Eric Gordon at 5,900.
Hey, bro.
Load him up in GPPs for sure. What's up?
Hey, I have a question for you. Do you, the past 3 games, you're seeing how James Harden is playing without Chris Paul? Does it make you feel like maybe they brought the wrong guy in? Like, maybe they shouldn't have got a Chris Paul who handles the ball a lot like Harden and drops dimes like Harden, where he has 13 and 17 dimes. I mean, he could do that. Maybe they should have brought in like an Anthony Davis or like a Kawhi, like a good guy that doesn't demand the ball. Let him be more the point guard. Like, do you kind of think that a little bit? Like, he hella good at dropping dimes and shit. Like why would
happened? Look,
this is what happened.
This is what happened. And you have to go back a little bit, but they tried their asses off to get Chris Bosh. Remember? And Chris Bosh at the very last minute said, "No, I'm going back to Miami." So they've been trying to get a superstar, like a third wheel or a second wheel to go with Harden. And Chris Paul is the guy they got. Like, that's the guy they got. They got another superstar. And it doesn't. I mean, the thing is they can't. It's like they can't coexist because Harden is so efficient. He's so efficient, and you watch him play, like you said, he's capable of. He's like Westbrook, dude. He's capable of dropping a triple double on you every single night. They play so much faster when he's handling the basketball.
Right.
If you watch the Rockets play when Chris Paul is on the floor, Chris Paul dribbles the ball up. Even in the middle of a game, he'll let the ball friggin' roll, pick it up, and then they just play so much slower with Chris Paul. Chris Paul is used to playing pick and roll basketball. That's what he's used to playing. He played pick and roll basketball when he's with the Hornets back in the day, all the way in New Orleans. When they were the New Orleans Hornets, he played pick and roll when he got to the Clippers, and he tries to play it here with Houston, and it just bogs down, dude. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
All right. Finish this off. My bad, man. I didn't mean to get us off track. I was just thinking that to myself. Harden's so good at passing the shit. It's like I just feel like it's not the right fit.
I think what you see too is Harden is what basketball is now, right? Chris Paul's pick and roll basketball is what it used to be. Now it's drive, penetrate, and kick, and that's what Harden does really well. So that's why he has so many assists.
Hi, finish us off on the Houston side of things, man.
That's what we got. That's where we're at. I
Okay.
mean, we're that's where we're at. You
Harden,
don't
Gordon, pretty much, right?
you don't play Harden tomorrow, in my opinion, at 11-7 if Chris Paul's playing. You don't.
Okay.
You can play Capella for sure, though.
Yeah, for sure. We like big guys going against Aldridge. So real quick, just on the San Antonio side of things, I'm not messing with this whole really point guard situation. I mean, we played Patty Mills a couple nights ago. And he didn't let us down. He got us 23 points. It was a great matchup. Only reason we played him. I don't want to play him in this spot. I'm not going to look that way. I mean, you can obviously look at DeMar DeRozan, up tempo game. If he gets some James Harden defense, 8 threes a fair price tag for him. And he's had a couple of rough games, recently for sure. But I think this is a spot where he can bounce back. He'll step up to the challenge and want to kind of match what Harden's doing. And we know Harden's going to get his. He's on a roll right now. So I think DeRozan's in play, strictly GPP. Rudy Gay, he's been so up and down, and I honestly don't really know what to do with him. The minutes he was getting close to 30, then he got hurt a little bit. Now he's only playing 16 and 18. I can't play a guy at 5'7", knowing that he's not going to get at least 25 minutes. So no, thank you on Gay. And then you look at Aldridge. I mean, this team. Whenever you look at San Antonio, they need Aldridge and they need DeRozan to have good games, or they're not going to win. And so, I always look at them whenever they're on the slate. They're both fair price tags. And Aldridge, 8,000. He could get a double-double any night. Going against Capella. Capella is a pretty good defender, though. Something kind of makes me a little bit nervous. So, I mean, that's it, man. I'm not really interested in San Antonio. It's just really DeRozan, Aldridge, move on.
Yep.
Cool. Next game, we got Atlanta Hawks going into OKC to face the Thunder. This game has a 226 implied total, and OKC is favored by 13.5 in this one.
I don't really want anything to do with this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a complete blowout.
I mean, I just don't want anything. I'm trying. I'm looking at it. Like, I'm trying to say, maybe. I don't. I mean, you could look to play Spellman, I think, tomorrow, and that's probably it. But he's 4,000, so you need him to get 6x if you're going to play him. So you need it to blow out. You need him, the guy to knock down threes. Other than that, I mean, I don't really want to go with Trae Young in this spot. I think John Collins is too expensive. I'm done.
Yeah, so, I mean, for me, I like Westbrook. 11-4, still just too cheap for Russell Westbrook. I think that, even if he only plays 28 minutes, he can get us close to a triple-double in 28 minutes against the Hawks. He's going to be going against Trae Young. Westbrook is one of those dudes, like he's just like mean, bro. Like, he's gonna see Trae Young, and he knows that there's hype around Trae Young, and he's just gonna take it to the young dude and just try to give it to him. That's just how Westbrook is, So I like Westbrook, 11.4. I think that he's still too cheap. If he was 12.5, I would be worried about it. But 11.4, he'll get you close, gonna give you a solid floor. Schroeder, I mean, he just. Sometimes they give him minutes, sometimes they don't. You could look at the narrative of his old team, 6,000. If it's going to be a blowout, maybe he'll get some extra run. So you could look at Schroeder GPP. Not somebody I'm really going to be looking at. Paul George, 9,100 in a spot where we think it's going to be a blowout. No, thank you. Paul George definitely has upside, but he doesn't have the same upside as Russell Westbrook to kind of get the points as quick, just because Westbrook always has the ball in his hand. So I think that I'm not really going to look at Paul George. You can look at Adams, 7,000, fair price tag. I just think all their minutes are going to get buzzed off, and can they get there before it's a blowout? Adams very consistent. As you can see, he's going to get you pretty much any night around 32 fantasy points. So somebody you could look at. So for me, I'm really just going to be looking at Westbrook. I think you can look at in cash still, even though it's going to be a blowout. Schroeder, and that's really it.
Moving on.
Cool. Yeah, and like I'm not really on Schroeder that much, but I just like the narrative. Yeah, it's a good little narrative there. So next game we're gonna go with, it's gonna be New Orleans going into Miami to face the Heat. This game has a 229.5 implied total, and New Orleans is favored by 3 in this one.
The man is Anthony Davis. That's where you got to look at. And I understand that they have Hassan Whiteside, they've got Bam, they've got Olynyk, they've got a whole bunch of stuff. But I do want to point out that they had Whiteside and they had Bam and they had Olynyk last year, and Anthony Davis only put up 96 fantasy points against Miami. So I'm all over Anthony Davis. I think that Anthony Davis is the kind of dude that gets up for games. He's a smart cat. He knows what's going on. He knows where spots are at. I think that Anthony Davis has a monster game in this one. I don't know how much I like 12-3, but you can definitely look to play Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis will be a contrarian play tomorrow at 12-3 because I think people will look at it and say, oh, Hassan Whiteside, and they've got some good bigs that rebound the ball well. Miami kind of slows it down a little bit. There's not a lot of points scored, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that Anthony Davis is a mismatch for Hassan Whiteside. I think he gets Whiteside in foul trouble, and I think he absolutely dominates Miami like he's done in the past. So I love Whiteside. Have to continue to play Drew Holiday. The guy's just playing too well. 22, 5, and 7 in 37 minutes. Again, a guy at 37 minutes. I mean, there's really two guys at shooting guard that are really at the same price, and they're putting up close to the same numbers, and that's Levine and Holiday playing at high levels. Mirotic, I don't think he can do enough at this price to get you tournament value and get you 50. You need 54.8 basically out of him tomorrow, or 52.8 tomorrow out of him tomorrow. So I'll stay away from that. But Julius Randle, you can also play him because if for some reason Whiteside gets Anthony Davis in trouble, then there's extra tick for Randle, and the guy's already playing 28 minutes and averaging a double-double, 20 and 10 over his last 5 games. So their whole starting lineup for me is in play, plus Julius Randle, Frazier, Moore, Mirotic, Holiday, Anthony Davis. I like all the guys on the Pelicans. Their rotation is so tight. They're running an 8-man rotation, so their rotation is so tight that if they blow teams out, they're still getting minutes. Their starters are still playing minutes deep into the fourth quarter. So I think that New Orleans is a far better basketball team than Miami is, and I like a lot of the guys that are on, in their rotation. 5 out of the 8 of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, on the Miami side of things, it's injuries. Injuries is where it's at. You got Goran Dragic, their starting point guard, out. You got their backup, Tyler Johnson, out. So, I mean, you know what you got to start with. You already know who I'm going to say, don't you?
Josh Richardson.
Got to start with Josh Richardson. The guy's just going to play a shitload of minutes. I mean, there's not really nothing else to say. He's going to play 35, 36 minutes.
He's a full-ass fade for me tomorrow, bro. Full fade. Drew Holiday.
No, for sure. Well, honestly, I may throw Richardson in a couple of GPPs. I'm not going to be like on him for cash or anything. But, yeah. But the fact of the matter is, with all these dudes out, the guy's going to play a ton of minutes. And we always talk about it. He's their best player. So if they're going to do anything tomorrow, they're going to need him. So, that's why I just start there. But strictly GPP with this price tag, like you said, with the fact he may get the Drew Holiday treatment. And then you can look at, I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to go right back to the well with Dwayne Wade. We told you play him last time. They're going to need scoring for sure. And he's locked in right there, 24 to about 26 minutes. They're not really going to play him 34 minutes. We know that now. But I can see him creep up to even like 28 minutes. And the guy has upside. The other day when we played him, he got us 25. It pretty much was value. So I think you could go right back to this well with Dwayne Wade. Ellington, the price tag's up. I'd rather play Dwayne Wade for $100 less. Magruder's a guy they're going to give him a ton of minutes. He's definitely – you got to look at these guys. They're very fair price, and they're playing a ton of minutes. Magruder played 35 minutes. He does a little bit of everything. He fills up the stat sheet. And then you can go straight to Whiteside. But I don't really like this spot for Whiteside going against Anthony Davis. This has foul trouble written all over it for me. So I'm staying away from Whiteside. And, that's really it. The two guys I like on the Miami side of things are going to be in strictly GPP are Richardson and Dwayne Wade. And then Magruder, I guess you could throw in there. And that's it. Cool.
No Ellington?
No, I'm not really. The thing about Ellington is that I actually mentioned that right now. So he's actually $100 more than Dwayne Wade. And the thing about that I don't like about him is he's I mean, this game, okay, he got 5-3 and 5 steals. This is an outlier right here. If you take away these 15 points right here that he gets for this, he's really gonna be at almost like only like 20. So he's not a guy that I don't know, he's just more scoring dependent. I don't like scoring dependent guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Dwayne Wade's a guy. I mean, he'll fill up the stat sheet. He'll do a little bit of everything, and he plays some good defense. I like Dwayne Wade for $100 less. So moving on to the next game, we're gonna go Orlando going into Phoenix to face the Suns. Waiting on some news here, so we don't have over under a Vegas line yet. But get us started with this game.
I'm gonna go right back to the well with Vucevic. He's too cheap. Vucevic is too cheap at 9,500 for what he's done in his previous 10 games. He's just too cheap. I'm not gonna compare him to talent-wise to Joel Embiid or to Andre Drummond or any of those guys, but the guy's got better numbers if you look over the last 10 games, and he has 171-point fantasy game. Last night, I told you guys the night before, he averages 47 points against Portland. He put up 46.9, I think. So I'm going to go back to the well Vucevic. I think this is a very good spot for him again against a rookie center. Vucevic has been very aggressive lately too. You can see averaging 12.2 rebounds in just his last 5 games. He has a couple of 18 rebound performances in this last 10-game stretch he's been in. Fournier is starting to play a little bit better, but at 5,800, I still really don't want anything to do with it. I'd rather pay for Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross has had some good games, especially his last 2. The Portland game, he did exactly what Terrence Ross does. He knocks down shots. Actually, it's his last 3 games, 25-7, 35-2, and 27-9. This other guy, Jonathan Isaac, you have to look at him because they eased him back in when he came back from his ankle injury, and he had like 16 minutes, 22 minutes, 24 minutes. Now he's played 30 minutes in his last 2 games. So at 4,900, the guy can definitely score the basketball. He knocks down a lot of corner threes. I've watched a lot of them their last 3 games because they've been out here, Lakers and the Warriors and Portland. So Isaac is a guy I like a lot. And if you want to take a dive on a guy with a ton of upside in tournaments, you could always look to play Jonathan Simmons. Mo Bamba, I'm not sure if I'm there yet with Mo Bamba in tournaments, especially with the Aaron Baines on the slate at 3,500. I'd much rather do that. But Vucevic for me is the number 1 target on the Orlando side.
Yeah, and then I mean on the Phoenix side of things, I absolutely love Devin Booker. He's their starting point guard now. This dude's not a point guard, but he's their best player, and they love having the ball in his hands so that they start to do that point guard. I mean, it's crazy. The guy has usage through the roof. This guy could take 40 shots in a game. They wouldn't tell him nothing. He has unlimited, pretty much do whatever you want kind of shit. And so I mean, the guy, he's consistent, very, very consistent, 8,200 fair price tag. This is going to be a up and down, run and gun game. This game plays very – and there's not going to be no defensive play, no defense played in this game. This game is a Devin Booker game. I really like him in this spot going against Orlando. I think he's a really, really good play. TJ Warren, he's a guy I like to play, but he's nursing an ankle injury right now. So if he's kind of hobbled a little bit, I don't really want to go to that well. But if he's out, I definitely think you could look at a guy, Josh Jackson. 4,000 fair price tag. I mean, we need 20 for value, and he's a guy that we know has 40 fantasy point upside. We've seen it in the past, so I definitely think if Warren is ruled out and he starts, he's a great, lower end play that you can use to get you some LeBrons or whoever you want to pay up for. And then you can look at the guy Ayton. The young guy's been playing very, very well. 7,200. Fair price tag. The guy's getting 30 minutes a game, and he's doing a little bit of everything, double-doubles consistently. We know Vucevic is a good offensive player, but he's not the best defensive player. The young guy's been playing very well defense also, getting those defensive stats. So I like Ayton in this spot. So for me, it's really just Booker, Ayton, and then if Warren's out, then you look at Josh Jackson. Cool?
I'm just reading the chat and somebody saying Whiteside is the best.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, bro. Bro, do you
Whiteside's not their best player. He's not.
I basically think that Josh Richardson is Miami Heat's best player.
Josh Richardson is Miami Heat's best player.
Okay. Well,
I
I'm glad.
did say less. I did say Jonathan Isaac. I did kind of a long little tangent about Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm glad that we're on the same page because Whiteside, I mean, he has upside, bro, but he's way too inconsistent for me.
The only reason that I was saying that Richardson's a fade for me tomorrow is because I can see him getting frustrated and not shooting the ball well and kind
Bro,
of getting
he's
into
a
some
holiday
turnover
team.
trouble.
That makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, man. Next game we're gonna go to is gonna be Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks going into LA to face the Lakers. This game has a 222 implied total, and LA is favored by 3.5 in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you got to start with Luka. You got to start with Doncic. I mean, this guy's playing well, man. He's playing well. He's 19-7 in his last 5 games. He's playing 31 minutes, 32 minutes. The guy's playing well. He's really playing power forward. They have him listed as a shooting guard on FanDuel, but he's really playing the power forward spot. So the Lakers. That's kind of the spot where you can attack them a little bit is with bigger guys. I mean, you can attack them with centers, power forwards, and point guards. You can see Doncic here 28.2, 32, 38, 30, 37.8. He has his ceiling's right there, 39, 38, 39, 40 points, but I don't mind that with the up-paced tempo that they're going to play at against the Lakers. The Lakers are a pace-up team for everybody that plays them. I like him. DeAndre Jordan, 7,800 for DeAndre Jordan. I don't mind DeAndre Jordan in this spot. Like I said, big guys, they have a tendency to do well against the Lakers, so I don't have any problem playing DeAndre Jordan in this spot either. But, you got to see what's going on with Dennis Smith Jr. with, I believe it's his wrist. You got to see what's going on there. JJ Barea at 5,900. Wesley Matthews plays well against the Lakers at 4,700. So Dorian Finney-Smith, another guy you could look at for tournaments, playing 32 minutes. He's getting big minutes. He's averaging enough to almost reach value. So again, a pace-up spot, and that's really it. I mean, Doncic is the guy that they want to play. I mean, he's playing power forward for him. He's the guy that you were saying about Devin Booker. They want the ball in Devin Booker's hands with Phoenix, and Doncic is the guy that they really want to push the ball to as well. So He's a knockdown shooter. He's very good with the basketball in his hands as well, creating shots and going to the hole and scoring. So Doncic is the guy I like in this game.
Yeah, and then on the Lakers side of things, bro, I'm just gonna make it short and sweet. All right, like LeBron, 11,000, very fair price tag for a superstar. I definitely think that he's in play. He is on the second end of a back-to-back, so that's one thing that I do want to note. But I definitely think LeBron's in play. Ingram's a guy that want to play 30 minutes a game. He plays good defense, good defensive stats. He does a little bit of everything. I like Ingram. And then, I also like Kuzma. Kuzma and Ingram, same price. They're both 6,300. That's very fair prices for these guys. These guys have 40 fantasy point upside, possibly even 50. I like both guys, and they both could definitely go off. I'm not going to say it's going to happen in this spot. I'm just saying in general, it's a really good price tag for both of those guys at 6,300. So, that's it for me. I like LeBron. I like Ingram. And I like Kuzma. I'm not going to do anything with this Lonzo Ball situation. The guy's just not playing good. You got Pope and Hart sharing minutes. You got McGee and Chandler sharing minutes. So that's it, man. It's just Kuzma, Ingram, James. Let's move on.
Cool.
Next game we're going to go with, it is going to be Denver Nuggets going into Portland to face the Blazers. This game has a 214 implied total, and Portland's favored by 2.5 in this one.
Yeah, so look, if you're ever going to play Jokic, this is the spot to play Jokic in. If you want to play Jokic, this is the spot to play him in. We know the situation here with Nurkic and Jokic used to play together. Last year, Jokic put up 63 fantasy points against Portland in one game. If this is a spot to play him at 8,500, it feels like a good spot to play him in. Look, this team is choking teams out. They're playing such good defense, and look at Mason Plumlee's price at 60. He's up to 6,100. I mean, a week ago, this guy was a $4,000 player, and he's up to 6,100 because they're just choking people out. Yancho Hernan-Gomez is a guy I like a ton tomorrow night. I think he's probably the best small forward number 2 on the slate. And then, you have to keep looking at Jamal Murray because Jamal Murray's 7,000 is very fair for what he's doing. And the thing is, what's crazy is I've noticed this in their last few games they played. He plays like the first 3.5 or 4 minutes of the first quarter, and they take him out. And then he comes back for like the last 4 minutes, and then he plays with the second unit into the second quarter. So he, like it's very deceiving. He doesn't get off to a fast start. It's kind of like, damn, this guy's not doing anything for me. But you got to like wait, be patient. He comes back in. They got a weird rotation with him. And I think that has to do with how much they like Monte Morris as well. I mean, Monte Morris is another guy you could probably look at playing in GPPs tomorrow too. But Yancho Hernan-Gomez is probably my favorite play on this team. And then I think this is a spot to play Jokic. It's a gut feeling. I just think there's history with him and Nurkic. Anytime you play against a guy that's your buddy, you want to beat him. I like Jokic here.
Yeah, I mean, on the Portland side of things, okay, if you're talking about you like Jokic, then I'm gonna go with Nurkic. Nurkic is the guy that was actually traded. It wasn't Jokic.
I will PayPal you $5 tomorrow if Nurkic has a better game than Jokic.
You have it?
I will PayPal you $5 tomorrow night.
Okay. But you get what I'm saying. Nurkic is the one that got traded. He should be the one pissed off, not Jokic.
No, yeah. You're 100% right about that.
So I mean, one of them is going to get in foul trouble. You heard it from me first. So we'll see which one gets in foul trouble. The other one's going to have a monster game. That's what I really got with that situation.
I think Nurkic gets you 40 to 42 fantasy points tomorrow.
Nurkic.
And at 8,000, you take that all day long. 7,900.
Right. So Lillard coming off a really good game when he was on fire from beyond the arc. He's their best player, and if they're going to win this game, they're going to need him to pretty much, have a really good.
Bro, wait, hold on. I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to check the chat, make sure nobody's going to argue with you about who Portland's best player is.
Oh. All right. So we know Lillard is Portland's best player. All right. The guy's coming off a monster game. The thing about it for me is he's 9,500. We need 48 for him to hit value. And he could definitely hit 48 in this spot. But thing is we've been talking about it over and over. Denver has really good defense. They're a really good defensive team. So, I mean, it could be a spot where just a lot of Lillard shots are forced. And he's not getting really, really good shots. And I could see Lillard busting in this spot, to be honest with you. I'm not really excited to play Lillard in this spot. But, I mean, I just have to throw him out there. He's their best player. McCollum, at least he's 6,700. The price tag's fair for him. So, I mean, he's their second best player, right? Second best player. Okay.
Who?
McCollum. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny? I don't want to get you off track, but do you think they should move McCollum?
Yeah, they have to do something, bro. They have either Lillard, well, obviously they don't want to get rid of Lillard, but he may just leave. But they got to break up. They got to break it up, bro. If you notice, bro, I mean, outside of the Warriors, but you got to even think about the Warriors. Before Draymond, just Clay and Curry, they weren't winning championships. You go to John Wall and Bradley Beal, they weren't winning championships. You go to McCollum and Lillard, they're not winning championships. I don't think having a really good backcourt duo is really the way to go to win. Because, think about it, usually point guards and shooting guards are shooters. They're shooters, so they depend on shots. Compared to if you have like a big guy that you could drop it down low and he can get easy layups, or a big somebody like that, somebody that takes it to the hole a lot. That's a slasher. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just kind of my opinion on that.
Problem is nobody wants to go to rainy ass Portland.
Right,
that's a problem.
Right. Okay, so McCollum, fair price tag going against Denver. For him to hit value, we're going to need about 33. He's averaging almost 32 on the season. He's a guy who gives you a solid floor, but I don't know if the upside's really there against Denver in this spot. I definitely think you got to consider him second best player. And then you can look, we talked about Nurkic already. For me, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm not really excited about this Portland team. I think you could definitely throw Lillard in GPP, McCollum in GPP, Nurkic in GPP, and I'm ready to move on, bro.
You know who's worth throwing in GPP that I keep throwing in GPPs every single night? No, Stauskas.
Oh, Stauskas? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was going to mention Turner too, but I'm just not really on this game. But he's a guy they've been giving minutes to, and he's been balling as well. So I think that's about it, man. I think that's about all we got for this slate. Real quick, Jeremy, if you don't mind, why don't you throw out that the deal that we got coming out?
Yeah, so right now on the site, if you have not joined yet and you're interested in checking out the site, it's a perfect time to do it. We have a special we're running right now. Go log in, go to the site dfscheatsheet.com, and then when you check out, use the code signup20 SIGNUP 20 at checkout. You get $20 off your first month. So for that VIP membership where you get our cash game lineups, basically you get them 6 days a week because you get Sunday NFL main slate, and then you get the main slate for both Fanduel and DraftKings Monday through Saturday. So that's the VIP membership or a luxury box membership. This special is on our monthly memberships, premium and VIP. You get full access to the optimizer, all of the content. That's our DVP plays, our deep dive articles, our core plays, all the news, like I said, access to the optimizer, the whole 9 yards. So perfect opportunity to come check out the site, get $20 off. The code is signup20. Use that at checkout, $20 off your first month.
Yeah, hey man, come definitely take advantage of our holiday special that we got going on, and try us out, man. Even if you just want to try out the optimizer, use the promo code and you're gonna get the optimizer for $20 for your first month. If you don't like it, it's only $20, man. But hey, I'm sure you're gonna make way more than that $20 that you paid for your monthly subscription if you come check out our optimizer. Been on absolute fire. You can use it for NBA and NFL throughout the week. Hey, have some fun. Hey, that's all I got for you guys. And thank you very much, Jeremy, for helping me out with this video. Please make sure, if you haven't already, click that like button. Make sure that you're subscribed. And hey, that's it, guys. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll be back tomorrow with our NBA core plays. I will be doing mine on my channel, and Jeremy will be over there on the DFS Cheat Sheet YouTube channel. Make sure and go subscribe to that as well. Thanks, guys, for checking out the video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.